Joining us today is Matt Hetherington, a ITTF Level 3 coach, former New Zealand national representative, and 3 times participant in the Worldwide Championship for table tennis. He brings a high-performance perspective across the technical, physical, and mental sides of sports. So, hi Matt.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us today. So, if your pee is yellow, drinking more water might not fix it. In fact, you could be drinking a ton of water and still feel drained because real hydration isn't just about water, it's about electrolytes. And today we're breaking down why just water isn't always enough for sports, for work, for travel, and for everyday performance. So Matt, why isn't water just enough?
Good question. It's a really great question to ask about hydration. A lot of athletes in particular assume that water is the most important thing, and it is very important. But if you don't put electrolytes into your body, then sometimes drinking all that water is not really so useful. The electrolytes, the salts, sodium, magnesium, potassium, they're really important for helping you retain that water and also regulating where that water goes, so regulating the hydration. So if you're just drinking water and you're not drinking those salts, a lot of the time you can end up sweating that water out or just flushing it out. It doesn't actually stay in your body, and also in the different parts of your body that it needs to stay, like your brain, like your internal organs.
Exactly. Performance actually also drop because especially as a table tennis player, before even you actually realize that's happening to your body, right? So yeah, and I think there's also a lot of discussion around hydration formulas. Especially when it comes to sugar, and some products claim that sugar actually helps with absorption. Do you think it's necessary for people to add sugar into their hydration formulas?
I don't think it's necessary. Obviously, having the salts is the most important part of retaining the water and the actual hydration part of it.
Right.
But it is useful to have some kind of flavoring.
Right.
It doesn't have to necessarily be through sugar, but I don't know if you've ever drank seawater by accident, but if you just drink something that's has a lot of salt in it, it doesn't really taste that great. But yeah, the sugar, it doesn't necessarily have to be in there, and having hydration supplements like this that don't have sugar, they still taste great. I think that's really good for people.
Absolutely. It's all about the balance and the ratio for sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And we do also see a lot of brands are pushing for very high level of sodium. So some brands even put over 1,000 milligrams of sodium into like one little packet. So in your experience, do you think that the more is it, the better?
1,000 milligrams is that's literally half of your recommended daily intake of sodium. So that is quite a lot. I think there are definitely occasions when it's useful to have more. Obviously, if you're, playing table tennis or other sports or doing marathons, something really intense where you have to replace the salt.
Sweat a lot.
Yeah. Sometimes you do physical exercise and then afterwards when your shirt dries, there's like salt lines everywhere. So you don't realize how much body salt actually leaves your body when you're sweating. But having said that, there are a lot of scenarios where 1,000 milligrams of salt base it's a lot. You don't necessarily need that, especially for daily hydration. And also, if you ingest too much of these salts, it can actually increase your blood volume.
Definitely.
It's not great for your blood pressure. Your blood pressure can kind of go through the roof.
Yeah.
So there's a balance. And I think with Venture Power having the 400 and 500 milligram levels of salts, you can take more. So, if 400 or 500 you feel it's not enough, then you can fill another bottle, you can do it again. Whereas if you go straight in and you do 1,000 milligrams, you kind of one and done, and you've already got a lot of salt.
definitely. At the end of the day, it's all about the balance, right? The right ratio of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And that's right. We have here the Venture Pal Hydration Boost for the everyday electrolyte line, where there's 0 sugar, 5 essential vitamins, 7 key electrolytes, and apparently it tastes really good.
It does.
So, do you want to try one together?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. So,
which flavor are you going to go for?
I think I'm gonna go with the strawberry today.
Okay.
Do you feel like it? Yeah.
You want to do?
Or
Are we doing one of each? Am I going to do one and you're going to do one? I'm going to go with orange.
yeah. Okay. All right.
Seems like a good day to
yeah.
do orange.
Duh.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
All right, here you go.
So let's just pour that in, and then. Okay. All right. Ooh, it's actually colorless. I'm surprised because I know a lot of brands, they add, colorings into these mixes. So this is a lot better than I think. Yeah, and it mixed very well. It doesn't have, those.
It's not like thick.
Yeah, it's not
powder.
thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything at the bottom.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It has like a really good, like you can taste the salt a little bit, so you know it's there. But some of the other ones that I've tasted like a long time ago,
Right.
the salt hits you first. Whereas with these, it's actually really subtle.
Yeah. With the strawberry as well, I feel that it's very refreshing. Like you actually taste like, the strawberry, like the pulp, like in the water, which is rare when it comes to electrolytes. Yeah, I've tried quite a lot in the market. Sometimes it's like too sugary.
Yeah.
And, it just makes your...
But then also when you have the sugar, it's harder it doesn't dissolve. You can like pour it in, like this is all gone, which is great.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time when you pour a mix, if it has a lot of sugar in it, doesn't. You get a whole bunch of it at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you have to stir it for ages.
Yeah. I mean, it says here that it's faster hydration than water alone with advanced hydration technology, 3 times the electrolyte than traditional sport drinks. 0 sugar, 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, vitamin C. Delicious taste, no artificial colors or flavors. That's, I think, a very, very, big bonus. Like no artificial colors or flavors. Because, we're like already eating or drinking too much from our daily lives.
Especially in the US.
Yeah, especially. So I think that's a very good option when we're choosing electrolytes in the market. So you mentioned brain fog. Is that one of the very first signs of dehydration?
Yes. That's usually where it starts, and that's actually where it's kind of noticed the least, consciously at least. Your brain is 75 to 80% water. It's very important for transporting oxygen and nutrients around your brain. And also flushing out toxins. So if even a tiny amount of dehydration can have a really big impact on how your brain functions, and especially the neurotransmitters, so how quickly your brain can send messages. And for me as a table tennis player, the speed that those brain signals go is obviously very important for reaction speeds and even just being able to practice at anything, I think, any sport. So once you start getting dehydrated, your cognitive performance, short-term memory, all of these things start getting impacted. So it's not just useful for sport. It's very useful for just every day being hydrated. And people don't realize that hydration is important, not just as an athlete, but just as a human being in general.
Absolutely. Because it really builds over time, right? Like
I think one of the things that's actually really interesting is if you are dehydrated over a long period of time, your brain cells can actually start to shrink.
Wow.
So your brain performance will go downhill over a long period of time if you're not hydrating well.
That's very shocking to know. And I think, do you see some like common mistake that you see, people make when it comes to hydration?
I mean, they just don't know. They don't know anything about it. That's a pretty big mistake.
Based on here, 3 out of 4, 75% of people are dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest mistake that people make is that they think drinking water is enough. And it's not. So most people don't have any education about why electrolytes are important or what they do, not just in your brain, but also in your muscles and different parts of your body. And I was the same. You know, we were talking before about how I'm at this stage of my table tennis career and now starting to learn more about hydration. And I wish I had known more about it when I was actually playing a lot more. So I think, most people are just oblivious to it. And also, outside of sport, people don't think about hydration.
Right. Yes. A lot of people only associate electrolytes when they're playing sports or working out.
Yeah.
But it's something actually you need every day, right? So that, concludes, like what kind of, maybe some practical advice that you would give people who wants to start, right, after learning about this?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just trying to build a habit.
Right.
With this kind of stuff, it's like with anything, right? Making sure you have the right vitamins or making sure that you're in the sun enough every day. If you don't actively think about it and build a habit out of it, then it kind of gets lost amongst work and just life in general. So I think creating a habit's really important, but also thinking about the importance of hydration all the time.
Right.
So, when you're in the office working, a lot of people get brain fog and they drink coffee.
Right.
But maybe they should think about drinking electrolytes instead. So for me, that's important. And, I've just flown about 24 hours to get here. You sit on a plane for a long time. Maybe you get like 1 cup of water every 5 or 6 hours when you're on a plane.
Right.
That's another situation where you should hydrate more.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It helps reduce jet lag.
Yes, electrolyte is a must-have when you're on, especially for international flights. Yeah, and I think that when it comes to like these kind of electrolyte products, we've also I think mailed you some before, and you've tried our high sodium the one with the high sodium level for endurance. This is the everyday one, and also this is the tablets. What was your favorite? Like this?
It's actually the tablets.
Wow.
And the reason is they're about 100 milligrams, I think, of sodium.
Yes, they are.
You can kind of take the first of all, I got the orange ones.
Yes.
And I really like that. As we've figured out, apparently I like orange for some reason more than anything else. But I really like the orange flavor.
Right.
But also it's like they're very easy to take.
Right.
You kind of chew them, they dissolve, and you're done. And you can actually drink as much or as little water with them as you want, like throughout your day.
Exactly.
A lot of people are thinking, oh, no, I don't want to drink too much fluid to get the salt. You can just take these instead.
Yeah, they're very practical, especially when you're on the go, right? Like you're, taking a hike, doing marathons or running in general, or just, running errands.
Yeah.
A lot of moms actually buy them when they take their, kids out because, they don't even have time to drink water, but they have the time, to just pop that on their mouth and, ready to go.
Yeah.
And I think this is one of the most unique products and most unique electrolyte product in the market because, it not only fits like, on your mouth and melts, right? But also it's very, very convenient. It comes in like a tube, right? You can just like, put it in your pouch and pop it when you're running. So it's very, very convenient by its design and also the formula.
Yeah. And also I think there are people out there that really just like drinking pure water.
Right.
When they're doing exercise. So some people, I don't know why, but maybe they don't like the taste of electrolyte mixes.
Yeah.
They can just drink pure water and they can just take the tablets instead.
Yes, absolutely.
So, pretty convenient.
Yeah, there's something for everyone when it comes to venture power electrolytes, right? These tablets for when you don't want the water, And these everyday electrolytes, when you want the everyday balance, the right sodium, potassium, and magnesium ratio, as well the endurance packets for when you're doing, extreme sports, or when you're sweating a lot, or when you're working in the heat, right? So there's something for everybody. Yeah, thank you for joining us today, Matt.
No problem. Thank you.
And thanks everyone for listening. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, please comment below.